everyone, my name is Vanessa and I am back to continue reading in chapter 20 of the book Letters and Numbers, written by Zachry K. Hubbard. And you can get a copy of this book by visiting Zachry K. Hubbard's YouTube channels, Gematria Effect News or Gematria Effect Sports. And in the description of each of the videos he produces, he leaves a link for you to purchase this book. The book is $5. It will come to you via email as a PDF file. And the book is phenomenal. Everyone should have a copy of this book. He left the copyright off this book so that you can take it to a bindery and have it bound into a book for yourself, for your own personal library. You can upload it to lulu.com and have it, they will bind it into a book and mail it back to you. But at any rate, this information needs to reach the masses. This information needs to go forward. This is nothing for you to believe in. This is something you can prove to yourself. Gematria is the encoding of numbers within our letters. And this is how all of our history has been orchestrated. You know, that we've been given through whatever form of media, your books, your television, music, movies. It is all, I don't care what it is, unless you're doing it organically for yourself. Yes, there is an organic side to life, but man has hijacked that, and they are doing things specifically by the code of Gematria. And the more you read this book, the more you will come to understand exactly what I am talking about. Or listen to me read the book, and that's what I've been doing on this channel, and my channel is called Gnostic Knowledge. And that's what I am doing. I'm reading the book Letters and Numbers. And I have read Letters and Numbers so far from chapter 1 up to chapter 20. And the chapter I am in right now is Gematria. What is it? Murder by Numbers. Murder by Numbers. Gematria, the Killing Code. And man, in this chapter I've said the number 38, 187, I don't know how many times. It is just amazing, and I'm not done, so I'm sure there's more to come. Zachry K. Hubbard also wrote a second book called Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus, and it is a continuation of Letters and Numbers. And this book can be obtained right now on Amazon as a pre-order, and it has been placed on the bestseller list for pre-order, as well as it should be, because this book is phenomenal. You can pre-order the book, and it will be released on October 13th. And I was lucky enough to see Zachry K. Hubbard. You know, he signed my book this past weekend, and I was glad for him that he did that for me. But this book in here, you can read about Kobe Bryant's death. You can read about Naya Rivera, Pop Smoke, and other pertinent deaths that are connected directly to Kobe Bryant's death. All this stuff is one big web of deception. It is just crazy, but nonetheless, this is how the powers that shouldn't be are orchestrating our history. And we have minions from every race working for them, and then a lot of them that don't know about this code are being offed by this code. It's sick. It's a death cult, and that's no other way to put it. If you don't want to buy number games on oh gosh, that's way up there. I hope you was hearing me clearly. If you don't want to buy number games via Amazon, you can order it directly from Zachry K. Hubbard's blog page, gematriaeffectnews.blogspot.com. And when you get there, you'll see the advertising for the book, and as you scroll down, it will tell you how to purchase the book within the United States and abroad. Also, read the blogs on there as well. Very great information. He has a previous blog page, freetofindtruth.blogspot.com, where you can also read the blogs that he's placed there previously. He's been blogging there for over 5 years, so there is a massive amount of content there for you to consume. But the meat and potatoes of Gematria is in his book, Letters and Numbers. It spoon feeds the information to you, and then by the time you get to the book Number Games, you will be well acquainted with what Gematria is. With that said, please watch his videos as well. He decodes sports. A lot of people win a lot of money betting, because the games are scripted, no different than you watching the movie The Longest Yard. It's all a puppet show. Yes, these people, I don't care what sport they're playing. I don't care what role in a movie someone playing. If you have the skill, you have the skill. But they are manipulating that skill for whatever you're doing, and it's all by the code of Gematria. So, with that said, I am going to begin with the next death in the chapter 20. Murder by Numbers, the Gematria Killing Code. And we're going to start with Chuck Mosley, December 26, 1959 to November 9th, 2017. Okay, Chuck Mosley, a rock star from the band Faith No More, would die 47 days before his 58th birthday. Consider the word rock has Gematria of 47 and rock star has Gematria of 57, matching the age of his demise and the numerology of his date of passing. Roy McClellan, November 17, 2017. His birthday is not given, so this is the date of his demise. It was reported in mainstream media on November 26, 2017, that a 52-year-old man had been killed in a hit-and-run accident that had escaped at the October 1st, 2017 Route 91 Harvest Festival shooting. No doubt this was a made-up story to remind of the propaganda-based shooting, but I want you to see how the character, name, and date of death was contrived. Starting with November 17th, it is the day that leaves 44 days left in the year, connecting to kill and shooting. Recall, Jason Aldean, the performer during the shooting, spoke out to media about the event a span of 44 days from the incident, prior to this news of the hit and run. Even more, from the October 1st shooting to November 17th was 47 days, corresponding with Nevada, as well as firearm, where again it was reported the shooter had 47 weapons. Even more, the name Roy McClellan, using the 4-base cipher, summed to 52, like his age of death, 65 like the numerology of his date of death, 133 like Las Vegas, Nevada, and the span of days between the May 22nd concert, false flag, and the October 1st concert, false flag, and finally 191 connecting to the Gematria of active shooter, as well as the distance in days from the March 25th Las Vegas shooting to the October 1st event. For one last point, the name Roy has Gematria of 58, reminding that 58 people were reported killed, and the concert shooting came 58 days from the governor's August 5th or 5/8 birthday. Wow. Jose Manuel Maza, October 23rd, 1951 to November 18th, 2017. Spain's Attorney General, Jose Manuel Maza. Jose Manuel Maza, M-A-Z-A. A name having Gematria of 43 and 77, matching killing, would drop dead at age 66 on a date with numerology of 66, and that date was 11/18/2017. And when you add 11 plus 18 plus 20 plus 17, that equates to 66, the 322nd day of the year, and the day leaving 43 days left. Please recall the word homicide sums to 66. Even more, he died 26 days after his birthday, or his 27th day of his respective age. Days after, they reported it was a kidney infection that caused his sudden passing, having Gematria of 63, the 38th prime number. Wow. Malcolm Young, January 6th, 1953 to November 18th, 2017. 44 years after co-founding the band AC/DC in 1973, Malcolm Young would drop dead at age 64. Again, the word kill has gematria of 44 and 64. His cause of death was reported as dementia, having gematria of 46, like sacrifice, and corresponding with the numerology of the date, which was 46. So 11 plus 18 plus 17 equates to 46. It was also a date with numerology of 66. 11 plus 18 plus 20 plus 17 equates to 66. And he died on his 317th day of his respective age, where again 317 is the 66th prime number, corresponding with rock and roll. Further, it was 42 years from the release of their first album in 75, where the word rock star and the name Malcolm share gematria of 42. In other words, he didn't really die from dementia. All right, Mel Tillis, August 8, 1932 to November 19, 2017. Mel Tillis would die 103 days, the 27th prime, after his 85th birthday, corresponding with the gematria of Tillis, summing to 27. The date of his passing was one with numerology of 67, and you would add 11 plus 19 plus 20 plus 17, that equates to 67. Corresponding with blood sacrifice and satanic, and it would be a date full of reported celebrity deaths, including that of Charles Manson. He also passed on the day, leaving 42 days left in the year, the Freemason signature. Jana Novotna, and I'm going to spell her last name in case I am just butchering her name, but her name is Jana, Jana, Novotna. Jana Novotna, I'm assuming. So her birthday, October 2nd, 1968, and she died November 19th, 2017. The former Olympian would die on her 49th day of being 49 years old. Not by chance, the word Olympics has gematria of 49, and she was a former medalist in the year 96. Again, November 19th is the day, leaving 42 days left in the year, and the divisors of 42 sum to 96, both being numbers symbolizing the Freemason gang. Della Reese, July 6th, 1931 to November 19th, 2017. Della Reese, singer and actress in Touched by an Angel, dead at 86. Notice the emphasis on touched by an angel. In gematria, that phrase sums to 86, the same as Della Reese, which of course is a number connected to blood sacrifice. The name Touched by an Angel also sums to 67, and she died on a date with numerology of 67, while also having a birthday of July 6th, which can be expressed as 6-7. For yet another 67, her place of death, Black Bottom, Detroit, has septenary gematria corresponding. Her date of death came on her 137th day of being 86 years old, the 33rd prime number, also commonly found around ritualistic death and corresponding with the 33 value of Black Bottom in reduction. Wow. Charles Manson, November 12th, 1934, and died November 19th, 2017. Charles Manson, accused of being the leader of a satanic murder cult, the Manson family, that began to form in 67, 2 years before their 69 murders, would appropriately die on a date with numerology of 67 and on the 223rd day of the year, where the word Lucifer has Jewish gematria of 323. As mentioned, to start the chapter, he would die at age 83, where the name Charles Manson has gematria of 83, corresponding with murder. Even more, his death came in his 46th year of being in prison, where he had been since age 37. Not by chance. The word prison has gematria of 37 and 46. On the subject of his time behind bars, never in the history of the world has any convict in prison received as much media attention and television time as Manson, and that wasn't by coincidence. It is because he has a psychological, no, it is because he was a psychological operation meant to instill thoughts, ideas, and fear in the television-watching people of the world. Consider the name Manson, his belief about the coming race war, which he called Helter Skelter, and the name Roman Polanski, whose wife he supposedly murdered. All share gematria of 76, the number corresponding with symbol, which is exactly what he was. Consider further that the Bavarian Illuminati was established in 1776, having gematria of 221, and the Manson family murders took place on August 9th, the 221st day of the year, and the day leaving 144 days left, the latter number corresponding with killer. Also worth mentioning, if you leave off the word the, Bavarian Illuminati sums to 188, and Roman Polanski's birthday is August 18th, or 18/8, 188. By knowing the code and being awake, it isn't hard to see that the story of Charles Manson was a contrived narrative by the long-nosed tyrants who control Hollywood and the rest of media. What they communicated through him was in fact their own intentions. Okay? It is they who have killed for satanic purposes, and it is they who have aimed to create chaos through racial division. It is why so many celebrity deaths happen on this date, on his date of passing, black and white. Sadly, these sick tyrants, these deranged people, they must see themselves as being in the right, same as how Manson saw himself, most likely from following the Talmud, which says it is okay to make evil as long as it is against the Goyim. Consider, Manson often referred to himself as the Son of Man and a prophet, not unlike Jesus Christ, who shares gematria of 74 and 83 with Charles Manson. For another parallel between Christ and Manson, Manson's birthday was November 12th, the 316th day of the year, and in Hebrew gematria, Jesus Christ sums to 316. As for him dying on a date related to Lucifer, consider that in ordinal gematria, both Lucifer and Jesus share the value of 74 as well. And at the same time, both Lucifer and Jesus are said to be light bearers. The parallels between the two entities through scripture and through gematria no doubt are meant to remind that all of mankind is both good and evil, which is clearly expressed through Manson. In his TV interviews, he would communicate values that were righteous, such as caring for other people, bringing peace, cleaning up the environment, escaping materialistic ways, etc. At the same time, in those same interviews, he would express ideas that were clearly wrong, such as stating if he were released, he might very well murder everyone. Understand, though, this was a character playing a part, communicating chaos and mental confusion. On the subject, the date of the murders he was held responsible for, on the subject, the date of the murders he was held responsible for, August 9th or 8-9, syncs with the Gematria of chaos, summing to 89. If you flip the date around, 98 like 98, Okay, it says here, if you flip the date around, 98 like 98, that also syncs with the Gematria of prophet, which he claimed to be. Again, Manson was communicating the feelings of the tyrants, the same people who put him on TV, who believe they're justified in their actions, the same way Manson communicated he was right in his actions. Consider their behaviors and what we have learned about them thus far, ruling over humanity the way they do, creating war, fear, hate, and division, and all throughout following the code of prophecy derived from the biblical text as they see it, with all the ritual sacrifices of human beings that they make happen each year for their planned and coordinated events as some sort of seemingly necessary component. In light of Manson dying in his 46th year of prison, let's not forget that Genesis 46 begins with a sacrifice to God, where in Hebrew the words murder and kill equate to 46. Wow, that's crazy. I'll read that one more time. In light of Manson dying in his 46th year of prison, let's not forget that Genesis 46 begins with a sacrifice to God, where in Hebrew the words murder and kill equate to 46, and at the same time in English, sacrifice also equates. To emphasize the point, it is clear that the number of deaths on November 19th, 2017, including Charles Manson, were a reminder of who the real killers are in this society. While the mind's eye of the masses are distracted with contrived characters such as Charles Manson and the many other names that have passed the television screen and newspapers over the years, the real murderers are going unchecked. This is what needs to be changed, and it will only change by this knowledge reaching enough people, the same ones who are asleep at the wheel, mesmerized by flashing screens. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to read this headline here, and it says Hankinson, who left his St. Paul home in the summer of 1976, called his mother on August 5th, 1976, telling her he was in Chicago. He was never heard from again, Cook County Sheriff Thomas J. Dart said Wednesday. Gacy was convicted in the killing of 33 young men and boys, most found buried in the crawl space beneath his ranch-style home on the northwest edge of Chicago. It was one of the nation's worst serial killing cases. He was executed in 1994. Okay. All right. Keep moving right along. To make the point even more clear of the real killers being at large and the patsies being on the screens and in the papers. Look at this recent reporting on the death of a young man in connection to the serial killer John Wayne Gacy, a name summing to 74 and 83, similar to Charles Manson. If you're not familiar with Mr. Gacy, he is credited with killing 33 people in the summer of 2017. It was said that one of his victims, reported missing for more than 40 years, has been identified. Notice that the victim disappeared on August 5th, 1976, a date that should pop out at you in multiple ways. It goes to show, if Gacy, born in 42, even was the real killer, possibly under MK Ultra, he was under the influence of this satanic murder cult that is much larger than any man, and which is the same cult that is in control of the New World Order. Speaking of which, Gacy was put to death on his 55th day of being 52 years old, where Satan has Gematria of 55 and devil corresponds with 52. Same with New World Order. Well, NWO, the acronym. Same with the acronym NWO, as well as the words government and authority. Okay. Now I'm going to read this headline. It says, Charles Manson's body has been on ice for nearly 3 months. Here's why. Okay. For one last point on Charles Manson, on February 13th, 2018, the 44th day of the year, CNN and other mainstream news carried a story about Charles Manson's body still being on ice because different parties were contending for the rights to his body. What the hell? No doubt this story was truly brought up on this date as a tribute to the numbers of killing and death. As a reminder, kill and execution share Gematria of 44, and death has satanic Gematria of 213, reminding that he was put to rest at 2013 military time, which you ignore the 0, that's 213. Okay. Further, this news came 86 days after his birthday, connecting to the reverse ordinal Gematria of Manson, as well as the reverse reduction Gematria of blood sacrifice. Isn't it sick? And yes, it is. It's very freaking sick. Alright, and here's another unfamiliar name for me, but let's see. Rogelio, and I'm sure that's not how you pronounce his name. It's probably Rogelio, but I will spell it. Rogelio, and I'm going to say Rogelio. And if I am mispronouncing this person's name, I'm terribly sorry. Okay? Rogelio Martinez. He died November 19th, 2017, or was murdered. A national news story would emerge about the suspicious death of Rogelio Martinez, a U.S. border agent, a man with a name having ordinal Gematria of 187, reverse ordinal Gematria of 218, and reverse reduction Gematria of 83. All numbers that connect to death and murder. As for the date of his passing, it was one with numerology of 67. Making matters even more interesting, a span of 86 days later, February 12, 2018, it would become a national news story that the government had determined his death was just an accident. As you know, blood sacrifice has reduction Gematria of 67 and reverse reduction Gematria of 86. Consider February 12th is the 43rd day of the year, connecting to the words Masonic and killing. The same repetitive code over and over and over again. Terry Glenn, July 23rd, 1974 to November 20th, 1977. Terry Tyree Glenn, a name having gematria of 77, would die a span of 77 days before Super Bowl 52 and February 4th, 2018. And I'm sure that birthday was not correct. So let me go back, and I'm sure that's 2017. Let me look up Terry Glenn really quickly here and get his proper birth date. So, Terry Glenn. Yes, Terry Glenn was born July 23rd, 1974, and he died November 20th, 2017. Absolutely. Okay. Terry Tyree Glenn. I'm going to start over. A name having gematria of 77 would die a span of 77 days before Super Bowl 52, February 4th, 2018. Okay. Adding to the Super Bowl riddle, the date of his passing was one with a life lesson number of 41, where Super Bowl has gematria of 41 and 112, and the date 11/20 you will read as 112. That's the date of his death, 11/20. As for his age of passing, 43, it connected with the location of his supposed fatal car crash, which was in Irving, having gematria of 38, 43, 79, and 83, all numbers that should be extremely familiar at this point. In addition to 83 being connected to murder, it also connects to football. It is worth mentioning that Terry Glenn used to play for the Dallas Cowboys, where he wore the number 83. As for his place of passing, Irving, Texas, it is just outside of Dallas, having gematria of 49, like Revelation, as well as NFL and Super Bowl. Let us not forget that when you write out 77 as words, it sums to 49. Glenn also died on his 121st day of being 43 years old, a number connecting to blood sacrifice and revelation in ordinal, which has a square root of 11, and Glenn died 11 weeks from the Super Bowl, which was won by Philadelphia, the city named in Revelation of the Bible. Of course, football is a game of 11 on 11 men, paying tribute to the master number, which is 11. Wow. Also important is that Tom Brady, born August 3rd, 83, 1977, emphasis on 77, threw his first career touchdown pass to Terry Glenn when Glenn was a member of the Patriots. That was in 2001, just after September 11th, the day where 77 was the number and where the Patriots emerged as the greatest football team in the history of the world just after. And the 77, as you remember, Flight 77, when it took off 77 minutes later, it hit the 77-foot tall Pentagon, and the Pentagon sits on the 77th meridian, blah, blah, blah. 77 is just crazy. Wow. As all part of one very painful and obvious narrative, if you had eyes to see, which on that day, Zach, I did not, but I do now. I see clearly now what took place and what is continuously taking place. This is just some crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, in this case, the Philadelphia Eagles would go on to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots shortly after Glenn's passing. On the subject of 77, let us not forget that United States, Zionist, Judaism, and theater all share gematria of 77, where professional sports are scripted theater with athletic actors. Absolutely. Even more, let us not forget that in November of 2016, the 11th month, Florence Henderson, or Carol Brady of the Brady Bunch, was sacrificed for Tom's scripted career and his appearance in Super Bowl 51. Shit. Oh my word. David Cassidy, April 12, 1950 to November 21st, 2017. David Cassidy would die at age 67, 223 days after his birthday, where blood offering corresponds with 223. As for the date of his passing, it was the 325th day of the year. The day that leaves 40 days left in the year, where 40 corresponds with the ordinal gematria of David, and 325 corresponds with the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Even more, 223 is the 48th prime, and the name David Cassidy has reduction gematria of 48, equating with the gematria of Freemason, Illuminati, and Hollywood. Of course, David Cassidy was an actor and former employee of the gang. And they are a gang, oh my word. John Theory, Thierry. John Theory, September 4th, 1971 to November 24th, 2017. On the 1-year anniversary of the passing of Florence Henderson, John Theory, the former number 1 pick overall by the Chicago Bears in the 94 NFL draft, would drop dead from a heart attack at age 46. Consider his date of passing, November 24th, is the day leaving 37 days left in the year, and the name Chicago has reduction gematria of 37 and ordinal gematria of 46, the latter number connecting to sacrifice. On the date of his passing, it was 81 days after his birthday, connecting to ritual, or his 82nd day of being 46 years old. Excuse me. In the case of 82, Chicago, Illinois has gematria of 82, and so does the word soldier, where the Bears play at Soldier Field. As for heart attack, it has gematria of 72, and his death came 72 days before the upcoming Super Bowl, a word having gematria of 131, and not by chance, John Theory played in 131 career regular season NFL games. The number 131 is also the 32nd prime number, and NFL has ordinal gematria of 32, on top of being a league consisting of 32 teams. Wow. Mercedes Grabowski, August Ames, August 23rd, 1994 to December 5th, 2017. First, Shyla Stiles, Shylastlez. Shyla Stiles, a Canadian adult actress, died at age 35 in her sleep, November 9th, 2017. Then a span of 27 days later, and porn equals 27 in reduction, August Ames, another Canadian adult actress, died of an unknown cause at age 23 on December 5th, or 12/5/125. Okay? The police said there was no sign of foul play in either death. Tying the deaths together is the fact that Shyla Stiles sums to 125, and the place August Ames died, Camarillo, California, also has gematria of 125, connecting to her date of passing, 12:5, which can be read 125. As a reminder, Kabbalah has 125 degrees of spirituality, and the word spiritual shares gematria of 125. As another reminder, the dark half of Kabbalah, which has to do with harming others, is known as Cliphoth, and I'm going to spell that. Qliphoth, Cliphoth, summing to 666 in reverse Sumerian. Consider the adult industry is often symbolized with the letters XXX, which break down to 666 because X is the 24th letter, and in numerology 2 plus 4 is 6, and you would do that for each X, so that would be 666. In the case of the death of August Ames, it took place on the 34th parallel north, on a date with numerology of 34. The place of her passing was also on the 119th meridian west, corresponding with the fact that Shyla Stiles died November 9th or 11/9, which can be read 119. Okay, looked at as that way. It's crazy. Recall that Etz HaChaim, the Jewish name for the tree of life, has gematria of 119 as well as 52. Those numbers correspond with the day Shyla Stiles died, where November 9th leaves 52 days left in the friggin' year. He didn't write that, but left in the year. As for both adult entertainers being from Canada, it is a nation with Sumerian gematria of 144. In reverse ordinal gematria, pornography sums to 144. In light of both deaths being connected to the number 119, let us not forget that the divisors of 119 sum to 144. At the same time, August Ames, who died at age 23, was born on the 23rd day of August in 1994, a date with numerology of 144 connecting to the gematria of her birth name, Mercedes. Even more interesting, she was born Mercedes Grabowski, having a surname summing to 105. So that means Grabowski equates to 105. And she would die on her 105th day of her age. These are not coincidences, people. These are planned rituals. Sick, planned deaths. Man. Johnny Halliday, Halllyday, French Elvis, June 15, 1943 to December 6, 2017. Elvis died at 42. Johnny died at 74. Recall, when you write out 42 as a word, it sums to 74. Even more, Johnny died on his 176th day of his age, and French Elvis, his nickname, equates to 176. He also died in December, having gematria of 55, same as sacrifice and Satan. And further, he passed on a date with numerology of 55, and he died December 6, 2017, so you would add 12 plus 6 plus 20 plus 17, that equates to 55. Alright, Nadrian James Black Bow, and Nadrian is spelled Nadrian, and he died December 8, 2017. No birth date given. On the fateful day in history for John Lennon, Dimebag Darrell, and John Glenn, among others, the manager of rapper Rick Ross would drop dead from unreported causes. His manager, Nadrian James, better known as Black Bow, was reported as being 57 years old by most news sources at his time of passing. The number connecting to entertainer and Scottish Rite, and he passed on a date with numerology of 57. So he died December 8, 2017, and when you add 12 plus 8 plus 20 plus 17, that gives you 57. On the subject of the Scottish Rite, consider Rick Ross has a song about Freemasonry and the Freemason logo, the compasses and square surrounding the G. Strangely, some news sources reported him as being 45 years old at the time of his death, the number corresponding with geometry. This is funny because his death came exactly a span of 45 weeks after Rick Ross's 41st birthday, January 28, 2017. You could also say he died 314 days after Ross's birthday, the number that is much like pi, also having to do with geometry. Equally as relevant, both the names Nadrian James and Black Bow share gematria of 46, the number connecting to sacrifice. It's crazy. Ed Lee, 43rd mayor of San Francisco, May 5th, 1952 to December 12th, 2017. At the start of his 83rd month of being mayor of San Francisco, a term that began January 11th, 2011, Ed Lee would drop dead from cardiac arrest. No doubt his May 5th or 5/5 birthday proved fateful. Again, December and sacrifice share gematria of 55, and in this case, so does his first name, Edwin. His death came 221 days after his birthday, the reflection of 122. As we learned earlier, San Francisco has ordinal gematria of 122 and is located on the 122nd meridian west. Further, consider that the Bavarian Illuminati sums to 221 and Illuminati, for short, sums to 120. At the same time, cardiac arrest also has gematria of 120. As for him being the 43rd mayor of San Francisco, let us not forget how the numbers connects to killing and goat, as in a sacrificial animal. Wow. Okay, now this name, Yurizan Beltran, and I will spell the first and last name for you. Yurizan Beltran. Yurizan Beltran. November 2nd, 1986. Okay. And they died December 3rd, and well, she or he, okay, she's an actress, so she died December 13th, 2017. Yurizan Beltran would become the third adult actress to die in a little more than a month's time, dying 34 days after Shyla Stiles, or a span of 35 days from the 35-year-old Stiles, who passed on November 9th. Beltran's date of death also had a life lesson number of 35, a number corresponding with I, where porn has the mind's eye of the masses in the computer age. The death of Yurizan Beltran was blamed on a drug overdose. This is important because the word overdose has reverse reduction gematria of 41, the 13th prime, and Beltran died on the 13th day of December, 13 years after becoming an adult star in 2004. Even more, her last name, Beltran, has gematria of 45 and 117, corresponding with the gematria of 13, the word 13. As you'll recall, the word 13 has ordinal gematria of 99 as well, and Beltran was born on a date with numerology of 99 as well as 13. Consider further, at her time of death, she was 31 years old, the reflection of 13. Not by chance, in septenary, porno equates to 13. All right. Tommy Nobis, September 20th, 1943 to December 13th, 2017. All right. Tommy Nobis, a former star on the Atlanta Falcons football team, would drop dead at age 74. Killing equals 74 in ordinal. 84 days after his birthday, or a span of 85. Starting with 84, Atlanta is on the 84th meridian, the number symbolizing the Jesuits, who have red and black colors, much like the Falcons, which are currently owned by Arthur Blank, who has the Jesuit order's birthday, September 27th. Nobis was known as Mr. Falcon, a nickname having gematria of 44, like Georgia, and being the number that divides into 84. As for the span of 85 days, Atlanta, Georgia, and National Football League both share gematria of 85. In recent times, the city of Atlanta had suffered the Interstate 85 fire on March 30th, 2017, 53 days after the Falcons lost in the rigged Super Bowl 51. Following the pattern, this death of Tommy Nobis had come 53 days before the date of rigged Super Bowl 52. That is especially interesting because Tommy Nobis sums to 53 in reverse reduction, and the NFL has a 53-man roster as well as a 53-yard wide field. Of course, that is because Vesica Pisces sums to 53. And the shape of the football is that of the Vesica Pisces, the womb of the universe, as we covered earlier. Further, in Super Bowl 52, the Philadelphia Eagles would win their first Super Bowl in their 85th season, and they would make Tom Brady the face of the league, 5-3 all time in the big game, 5-3. Consider Pennsylvania, the home state of the Eagles, has reduction gematria of 53. Oh my goodness. And you know, I met the young guy here in Seattle. He lives not too far from me. And he won on Super Bowl 52. He bet $13,000 on it. He did a future bet, and he ended up winning over $100,000 off Super Bowl 52. And I mean, it's just amazing. This is how scripted this stuff is. You may not win every time, but when the riddles are perfect, I mean, because both teams are scripted. It's scripted for both teams. So even if you did pick a team that didn't win, you'll see why you didn't win and why the other team did win. But it shouldn't be this way at all. It shouldn't even be about betting. It should be that we're not watching actual competition. You're watching a movie as opposed to real competition, and that's what it should all be about. I mean, even your governments are scripted the same way. People are put in office on purpose because of gematria and because of a certain script that they have to play out, and because their names, birthdays, and all this about them personally has the perfect gematria. That is all. Nothing more, nothing less. It is just BS, and I'm really sick of it. I mean, oh man. Well, now that I'm awake, because forever I didn't know, but I'm so glad to know now, and it just amazes me how so many people just dismiss this like, oh, that's a coincidence. For a million years, row after row, year after year, the same shit, and it's coincidence, right? It makes no sense. Anyway, moving right along. Kent Damon, D-A-M-O-N, Kent Damon, August 18th, 1943, December 14th, 2017. Damon, like, what's that demon boy in the movie, Damien? I used to love horror movies, still do. I need to go back and watch now so I can watch all the Gematria in the movie. But anyway, let me read the headline here. It said, Matt Damon's father dies of cancer at 74, had blood disease. All right. Kent Damon, the father of actor Matt Damon, would die at age 74, 67 days after his son's 47th birthday, October 8th, 2017. By now, you know the significance of each of those numbers. Absolutely. Absolutely. 67, blood sacrifice. It's crazy. And 47 as well. But 47 has a lot to do with DC. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, moving right along. Okay, anywho, let's see. Now, okay, even more. Consider the name Damon has ordinal gematria of 47, and the name Kent Damon has reverse reduction gematria of 47. Further, Kent Damon would die 118 days after his own birthday, a number connecting to death as well as cancer, which he reportedly died from. On the subject of 118, Tom Brady has a reverse ordinal value of 118, and Patriots have an ordinal value of 118. See what I mean? See, this is some BS. I bring this up because Kent and Matt Damon were both big Boston area sports fans, and Kent's death came 52 days before Super Bowl 52, which the Patriots were scripted to play in. Sadly, with each sports cycle, a number of celebrity-related deaths occur in connection to the big game. Absolutely. Barry and Honey Sherman. I don't know who these are. December 15th, 2017. Jewish billionaire and wife found dead in Toronto home. Billionaire founder of Canada drug firm found dead in suspicious death. Police not seeking perpetrator. Anywho, let's see what it's going to say now. On a date with numerology of 44 and 64, like clockwork, numbers connected to the gematria of kill. A pharmaceutical billionaire and his wife would be found dead in their home. The police ruled the death suspicious, but said they would not seek a perpetrator. Now ask yourself, how could that even be? How could that be? Right. As you can see, the word suspicious is emphasized in the headline, and it has reduction gematria of 43, a number connecting to killing and more. In this case, the man who died, he founded his company in 1974, 43 years earlier. It's crazy. The name of the company is Apotex. Apotex. Apotex, having gematria of 27, and the date of his death also had numerology of 27. Not by coincidence, earlier in the year, April 1st, 2017, it was reported that there was a family struggle over rights to the company. Wow. So it says Toronto's billionaires' orphaned cousins seek piece of Apotex's fortune. Okay, so let's move on here. Also worth mentioning is that the name Barry Sherman sums to 74, like the year of establishment of the company, and a number connecting to killing, Masonic, and Jewish. At the same time, killing, Masonic, and Jewish all share gematria of 43, the number emphasized through suspicious in the headlines. Wow. Crazy. Okay. Kim Jong-un. Now I'm going to spell his last name. It is, Kim, K-I-M, of course. Jong-Hyun. Okay? Kim Jong-un. April 8th, 1990. Wow. And he died December 18th, 2017. At age 27. The Ritual Number, the Korean pop star from the group SHINee, S-H-I-N-E-E, SHINee, would die from what was reported as a possible suicide. Again, December 18th, written as words, has Gematria of 93, the same as Saturn. Saturn also has Gematria of 42, corresponding with the band name SHINee, and the name he went by, Jong-un. Wow, his name equates to 42 as well, is what it's saying, and the name he went by, Jong-un. It was reported his dead body was discovered at 1810 local time, which isn't too far off from 181, the 42nd prime number. Consider that on this day, in the 42nd state, Washington, a train with number 181 on the side of the engine derailed on a stretch of track that had just been renovated at a reported cost of $181 million. Oh my goodness, this BS is, what the freak. I want to read that one more time. Okay. I have to get this in context. It was reported his dead body was discovered at 1810 local time, which isn't too far off from 181, the 42nd prime number. Consider that on this day, in the 42nd state, Washington, a train with number 181 on the side of the engine derailed on a stretch of track that had just been renovated at a reported cost of $181 million. And I do remember that story. I remember when that train went off the track. It's crazy. Oddly enough, the morning of that derailment, I covered this curiosity and reminded people to keep their eyes peeled for a celebrity sacrifice, because the tyrants were known for killing on this date due to its Saturn connections. Further connecting to the planet, this man died 254 days after his birthday, and the phrase Saturn, keeper of time, the keeper of time. Okay, the phrase Saturn, the keeper of time, in the ordinal gematria sums to 254. Just like this man died 254 days after his birthday. It's fucking crazy. Even more, both time and light, L-I-G-H-T, equate to 54. In English extended gematria. And finally, using the KFW Kabbalah cipher, December 18th in words sums to 254. Wow. A lot. That is a lot. My goodness. Malachi Dumile, and M-A-L-A-C-H-I-D-U-M-I-L-E. Malachi Dumile or Dumile, I'm not sure, but it sounds better Dumile to me. So, one more time. Malachi Dumile, February 22nd, 2003 to December 18th, 2017. Wow. The 14-year-old son of rapper MF Doom would die December 18th, 2017, a date with numerology of 67, a span of 67 days from his 15th birthday, from unreported causes. Recall, the word dead and the word end share gematria of 14. What stands out about his death and is his birthday. Okay, what stands out about his death is his birthday, February 22nd, or 222, 22. Not too far off from Genesis 22:2, where God asks Abraham to sacrifice his son. It is also Genesis 46 that begins with a sacrifice, and the rapper MF Doom, being born January 9th, 1971, was 46 years old at the time of his son's passing. As for his son passing in December, consider December and God sum to 55, a number that also connects to Satan. Damn, it is just fuck. Dick Enberg, E-N-B-E-R-G. Dick, who would name that child that, is just freaking amazing. Dick Enberg, January 9th, 1935, dies December 21st, 2017. Wow. Dick Enberg, known for being a sports announcer, would die at age 82, a span of 46 days shy of the Super Bowl, February 4th, 2018. Okay? Consider the shape of the football is the vesica piscis, and that is spelled, in case I haven't spelled it, V-E-S-I-C-A-P-I-S-C-I-S. Vesica piscis, having reverse reduction gematria of 82. And of course, the number 46 connects to sacrifice. At the same time, the New England Patriots, summing to 82 in reduction, would appear in that game. Further, the name Patriots alone has gematria of 46. Making matters even more interesting, Enberg was born in 1935, emphasis on 35, and the Super Bowl after his death took place on the 35th day of the year. Also relevant, his birth name, Richard Allen Enberg, sounds a lot better than Dick. Richard Allen Enberg has reduction gematria of 86, corresponding with the gematria of blood sacrifice. As for the name Enberg alone, it sums to 33 in reduction, corresponding with his date of passing, 12/21. All right, Jordan Philstein, or Philstein, we'll see. You can decide on how to pronounce it, but his last name is spelled F-E-L-D-S-T-E-I-N. Jordan Philstein, or Philstein. And it doesn't give his birth date, but his day of demise is December 22nd, 2017. Wow. The manager of the band Maroon 5, I like Maroon 5, boy, these people, and the brother of actor Jonah Hill, wow, would drop dead from unknown causes at the age of 40, 2 days after his brother Jonah Hill Philstein turned 34 years old. Let me read that over, because I'm thinking they both died. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, because it's only one person, but here we go. Jordan Philstein, okay. The manager of the band Maroon 5, and the brother, okay, he's the brother of actor Jonah Hill, would drop dead from unknown causes at the age of 40. 2 days later, after brother Jonah Hill Philstein turned 34 years old, which was December 20th, 2017. Again, the word murder has reduction gematria of 34, and his date of passing, 12/22, had numerology of 34. Also relevant, the surname Philstein, or Philstein, sums to 40 in reduction, matching his age of passing. Even more, his date of death had a life lesson number of 44. So 12/22/2017, you would add 12 plus 22 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7. That equates to 44. Corresponding with the reduction gematria of Jonah Hill. It isn't hard to see that his mysterious death was for his brother's Hollywood career. Whew. Alrighty. I don't think I've heard of this person. Pam the Funkstress. Funkstress. Oh, there you go. Pam the Funkstress. Funkstress. Alright? It doesn't give her birth date, but she died December 22nd, 2017. And probably someone who knew nothing about gematria. On a date with numerology of 51, the Bay Area hip-hop star would drop dead at 51. Not by chance, in reverse ordinal, Pam sums to 51. Her cause of death was reported as being organ failure, having reverse reduction gematria of 71, also corresponding with the date numerology of her passing, which was 12/22/17, and that equates to 51, and also 12 plus 22 plus 20 plus 17 equates to 71. Wow. Short and to the point. Okay. Heather Menzies Urich, and her name is spelled, her last name, Menzies-Urich. There's a hyphen in between those names. So, Heather Menzies Urich, December 3rd, 1949 to December 24th, 2017. Heather Menzies Urich, having gematria of 107, like ritual sacrifice, would reportedly die of brain cancer on Christmas Eve. This is fascinating because brain cancer and Christmas Eve have matching reduction and reverse reduction gematria summing to 52 and 74. Cancer alone has gematria of 37 and 44, the same as December. As for the sacrifice parallel, she died on a date with numerology of 46 and 73, corresponding with the gematria of sacrifice. For another curiosity, the name Heather shares reduction gematria of 38 with Christmas, the day the news came of her passing at 68 years of age. Consider, she was remembered for starring in The Sound of Music, which was released in 65, corresponding with the gematria of music as well as Christianity, where Christmas is the major Christian holiday. That film also came out 52 years prior, connecting back to brain cancer and Christmas Eve. Alrighty. Jim Burns. His demise, December 26, 2017. In the wake of the death of Jim Burns, nearly every outlet that covered the story was sure to emphasize MTV Unplugged, okay? And not by chance. The name has reduction as well as reverse reduction gematria of 54. At the same time, the word taxi has ordinal as well as reverse ordinal gematria of 54. And the story was a taxi struck Jim Burns on Christmas Eve, causing him to die 2 days later from complications due to the injuries sustained. Consider his date of passing had numerology of 55, connecting to the gematria of MTV, December, Satan, and sacrifice. Fittingly, he died at age 65, connecting to the ordinal value of music. Think about how on the same night he was hit by the cab, Heather Menzies Urich, who starred in The Sound of Music in 65, a very fitting year, was found dead. Crazy. Alrighty. Ray Thomas, December 29th, 1941 to January 4th, 2018. Okay. The musician from the Moody Blues, a band having reduction gematria of 41, would drop dead on January 4th, written as 41, in his native United Kingdom, not unlike 41. Okay? Consider the word blues has reduction gematria of 14 alone, and the date can be written as 1-4 as well. Even more, the words dead and in share gematria of 14. As for him dying 6 days after his 76th birthday, consider the name Thomas has gematria of 76 and 86, same as blood sacrifice. Further, his date of passing, January 4th, 2018, was a date with numerology of 43, connecting to the gematria of Masonic and killing. Wow. Crazy, crazy. John Young, September 24th, 1930 to January 5th, 2018. John Young, one of the NASA astronauts to reportedly walk on the moon, would die on January 5th or 5/1. This is a fitting date for him to pass, given his noteworthy career accomplishment, because man, the moon, outer space, moon, conspiracy, federal, and Freemason all share gematria of 51, reminding of Area 51. Okay? Making matters even more interesting, he died in Houston, Texas, in the year of the 51st Houston Rockets basketball team season, shortly after the Houston Astros won Game 7 of the 113th World Series 5-1. 51. Oh man, and where Houston Astros have reduction gematria of 51. As for the day he passed, it had numerology of 44, connecting to the gematria of kill as well as space. At the same time, the name Rockets shares gematria of 44. Consider that when he passed, the Rockets were front runners for the upcoming NBA Finals to begin May 31st, 2018, which was a span of 147 days from his passing, a number connecting to Freemasonry, conspiracy, outer space, spaceship, and more as covered. Wow. Let me wipe this off here. Okay. Olivia Nova, April 28, 1997 to January 7, 2018. Wow. 20-year-old adult actress, 20 years old, my goodness. 20-year-old adult actress Olivia Nova would be found dead from unknown causes January 7, 2018. Consider this is the date of human or animal sacrifice on the satanic calendar, and in the year 2016. It also fell on a date with numerology of 46, connecting to the gematria of sacrifice. Her body was discovered in Las Vegas, having gematria of 86, like the phrase blood sacrifice. As for her age of death, 20, let us not forget that death has gematria of 20, also corresponding with a gematria of her name, Nova, N-O-V-A. Wow. Well, rest in peace if you can. Oh my God, it's just sick. Keith Jackson, October 18, 1928 until January 12, 2018. Okay. Keith Jackson, known for announcing collegiate and professional football, and who grew up on the border of Alabama and Georgia, would die 4 days after Alabama defeated Georgia in the college football championship, January 8, 2018. Consider, Alabama has Gematria of 13 and 31, and Keith Jackson died on a date with numerology of 13 and 31. Further, his death came 86 days after his birthday, connecting to blood sacrifice. Even more, his death came 23 days before the Super Bowl, February 4th, where football has ordinal gematria of 83, the 23rd prime number. At the same time, Super Bowl has a reverse ordinal value of 112, not unlike the date of his passing, January 12 or 1/12, which can be read as 112, the numbers. Wow. Okay, now this name, Surreal, is what I'm assuming, but I will spell it so you can make your own judgment. Okay, Cyrille. Surreal Regis. Alright. February 9th, 1958 to January 14th, 2018. Okay. Surreal Regis was a pioneer for black footballers in Europe in the 1970s. His death on January 14, 2018, shocked those closest to him who knew him to be in great health. His passing came from a heart attack at age 59. The number stamped on the black race corresponding with the words Negro, slave, blues, and even kill. Okay. Also curious is that he died a span of 27 days from his 60th birthday in the month of January, having reduction gematria of 27. The same as the word ritual. Consider, the news of his death broke on January 15th, which was Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and MLK Day in the United States of America. Equally as fascinating, the team that Regis played for was West Brom, B-R-O-M, having ordinal gematria of 115, not unlike the date 1/15, January 15th. My goodness. And I never heard of Surreal Regis, but hey, rest in peace. Man. Edwin Hawkins. August 19, 1943 to January 15, 2018. Edwin Hawkins, a black musician, would drop dead on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Consider the day prior, Surreal Regis, a name summing to 74, dropped dead at 59, and then Edwin Hawkins, summing to 59, passed at 74. As you know, the number 59 connects to kill and the number 74 to killing. Even more, January 15th can be expressed as 115, similar to 115, corresponding with killing, Masonic, and Freemasons. The date can be written as 15-1 as well, similar to 151, and Mr. Hawkins was remembered for the song Oh Happy Day, having reverse ordinal gematria of 151. What are the freaking odds of what are the freaking odds? His death came on his 21st week and third day of his age, I'm assuming, similar to 213, and of course death equates to 213. Wow. Okay. Dolores O'Riordan, and I will spell that Oriordan. So Dolores, and that's a capital O with an apostrophe. Riordan, R-I-O, capital R-I-O-R-D-A-N. I don't know how it's hard for me to get those letters out. But anyway, she was born September 6, 1971, and she died January 15, 2018. Dolores O'Riordan, I hope I don't say her name too much anymore. She was of the Cranberries. That's the chick. Okay. Dolores O'Riordan of the Cranberries would drop dead at age 46, a span of 46 days from the 25th year anniversary of her band's debut album, which released March 1st, 1993. As you know, the number 46 connects to sacrifice, and the number 25 connects to death. In this case, the number 25 also connects to where she died, London, summing to 25 in reverse reduction. Further, connecting to the location using the ordinal method, London, England sums to 131, and Dolores passed 131 days after her 46th birthday. Wow. You could say that she died on her 132nd day of being 46, and England in reverse ordinal sums to 132. Shit. As for the date of her passing, it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the United States, a nation where her band was extremely popular. Consider Martin Luther King Jr. sums to 93, like the year the band's album debuted, 93, and being a number connecting to Saturn, which is related with time and death. Further, January 15 can be expressed as 1/15, similar to 115, the number connecting to the Gematria of killing, Masonic, and Freemasons. In light of the parallels to Masonry, her full name, Dolores Mary Eileen O'Riordan, equates to 143 in reverse reduction, the same as Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. At the same time, her more common name, Dolores O'Riordan, sums to 223 in reverse ordinal, the number connecting to Masonic in Jewish Gematria. Further, the name Dolores O'Riordan, I can't hardly say her name. Her name, Dolores O'Riordan, has reduction Gematria of 83, connecting to murder in reverse ordinal. And for the record, her last name is spelled O with apostrophe, then capital R. Well, both of these letters are capital. Capital O, then apostrophe, capital Riordan. Riordan, I would imagine. But her name, Dolores Riordan, has reduction Gematria of 83, connecting to murder in reverse ordinal. Adding to the ritual, were the additional alignments with her birthday and her date of death. She died 18 weeks and 5 days after her 46th birthday, and her band, the Cranberries, have reverse ordinal Gematria of 185, the same as mathematics. She also died 4 months and 9 days after her birthday, and the name O'Riordan equates to 49 in reduction Gematria. Wow, a number also connecting to mathematics. Last, please notice the headline courtesy of People magazine, with the police stating her death was not suspicious, a phrase having reverse ordinal of 151. Ordinal Gematria. Yeah, reverse ordinal Gematria of 151. Similar to 15/1 or January 15th, her date of passing. In light of the perfect alignment in letters and numbers, let us not forget the lyrics to the song Murder by Numbers by the Police. And if you haven't listened to that song, please do. I remember I used to sing that song. I used to like the song Murder by Numbers 1, 2, 3, man, and didn't know that that song had real significance and that it is a mantra. It's a mantra for these wicked ass people. They actually, man, just slap you in the face with it. We're just immersed in just wickedness, just for nothing. Well, it is for a reason for them, but it doesn't have to be this way if people just wake up. Just wake up. Anywho, moving right along. Joseph Jojo White. November 16, 1946, and he died January 16, 2018. Okay. The man remembered playing for the NBA's Celtics, a name summing to 71 in ordinal gematria of 71. Well, I guess he meant that. A name summing to 71 in ordinal gematria would die at age 71. Consider he was born Joseph Henry White, summing to 71 in reversed reduction as well. Even more, he died on January 16th or 1/6 and Boston, Massachusetts. 1/16. And Boston, Massachusetts sums to 1/16 in reverse reduction. The city that is home to the basketball team he played for. And, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm going to reread this because I know I kind of screwed this up. Okay, Joseph Jojo White, November 16, 1946 to January 16, 2018. The man remembered for playing for the NBA Celtics, a name summing to 71 in ordinal gematria, would die at age 71. Consider he was born Joseph Henry White, summing to 71 in reverse reduction as well. Even more, he died on January 16th or 1/16, and Boston, Massachusetts sums to 1/16 in reverse reduction, the city that is home to the basketball team he played for. Boston, Massachusetts also has reduction gematria of 55, and he passed on a date with numerology of 55, a number connected to sacrifice. His date of passing was his 62nd day of being 71 years old, and sacrifice sums to 62 in reverse reduction as well. Also worth mentioning is that the Celtics would lose to the visiting New Orleans Pelicans, who won the game with 116 points on the same day of his passing, January 16, 2018. JoJo was from St. Louis, the same region of the country. Wow. Okay. All right. Tyler Hilinski, Hilinski. Tyler Hilinski, May 26, 1996 to January 16, 2018. Wow. The young quarterback for the Washington State University Cougars would reportedly take his own life at age 21. Consider Washington State University Cougars has an ordinal value of 441, a number with a square root of 21. As we have learned, Saturn connects to 21 in reduction, the sixth planet from the sun, and where the number 21 is the sixth triangular number. Wow. Further, the word Jesuit has reduction gematria of 21. At the same time, Jesuit has reverse reduction gematria of 42, and Washington is the 42nd state in order of statehood. In the case of the Jesuits, who have much influence over the world of scripted sports, collegiate to pro, Tyler Hilinski died 235 days after his birthday, and the Society of Jesus sums to 235 in reverse ordinal. In light of the Jesuits being the Society of Jesus, consider Tyler Hilinski was born on the 146th day of the year and on a date with numerology of 146. Wow. Connecting to the reverse ordinal gematria of Jesus Christ, 146, and he died in the time of Capricorn, having a reverse ordinal value of 146 as well. And so the date that he died, let me see. And the date he was born. So he was born, okay, so the date numerology that he was born was May 26, 1996, and so when added together, 5 plus 26 plus 19 plus 96. That equates to 146. And Tyler Helinski was born on the 146th day of the year and on a date numerology of 146. That is just mind-blowing. Okay. In his collegiate quarterbacking career, his most memorable performance was leading a 21-point comeback over Boise State, winning 47-44. 47-44. That game was played September 9th, 2017, a span of 130 days before his death. This matters because Washington has ordinal gematria of 130. He also died 130 days before his 22nd birthday, and not coincidentally or by suicide as was reported. Consider, just days before his death, Keith Jackson had died suspiciously as well, who was a Washington State University alumni, class of 54. As we have learned, Jesuit order has reduction gematria of 54. You'll also recall the Jesuit order was established on a date with numerology of 91, September 27, 1540. Like the sum of points in Helinski's most remembered 21-point comeback game, which concluded 47-44. For one last thought, Helinski died just days before the New England Patriots honored former Washington State quarterback Drew Bledsoe. That honoring came after New England advanced to Super Bowl 52 on January 21st, 2018, emphasis on 21. In the ceremony, Drew Bledsoe was able to present the Patriots with a trophy for winning the AFC Championship. And if you're not aware, Tom Brady's scripted career began with the scripted injury of Drew Bledsoe in 2001, which we'll cover next chapter. My goodness. Dave Holland, April 5th, 1948 to January 16th, 2018. Dave Holland would be reported dead with no cause of death 79 days before his 70th birthday. Again, murder has ordinal value of 79. Consider he was the drummer for the band Judas Priest. As we have covered, drummer has gematria of 38 and 97, the same as death. His date of passing was one with numerology of 55, connecting to the gematria of sacrifice as well as Dave Holland. All right. George Tyler, the game's father. He died January 17, 2018. Wow, okay, the game. The rapper, I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. It has to be. The game's father. Okay. 49 days after the game turned 38 years old, which was November 29, 2017, his father would be found dead in his sleep. This is curious because the rapper, The Game, had one song where he mentioned his father, and it was titled Bloody Moon, having reduction gematria of 49. It also reminds that the game was brought into the recording industry by Dr. Dre, a title having ordinal gematria. A title having an ordinal value of 49, and corresponding with the fact Dr. Dre was born on the 49th day of the year. As for the game being 38 years old, having a song about his father called Bloody Moon, consider the word moon has a Hebrew value of 38, a number also connecting to the words rapper and death in English. At the same time, the The father's death came 14 days before the rare blood moon of January 31st, 2018. Let us not forget, dead and in share the gematria of 14. You could also say he died a span of 15 days prior to the blood moon, which is even more fascinating because moon has a reverse reduction value of 15. Wow. As for his father's age of passing, he was 65 years old, corresponding with the ordinal gematria of music. His father's name, George Taylor, was also fateful, summing to 67 in reduction and 59 in reverse reduction. Consider the rap name, The Game, shares an ordinal value of 59. As for the game's birth name, Jayceon Taylor, and that is spelled Jayceon, Jayceon Taylor, it has a reduction value of 56, and his father died on a date with numerology of 56. Wow. And so the date was 1/17/2018, so you would add 1 plus 17 plus 20 plus 18, that equates to 56. His birth name also sums to 187 in reverse ordinal, reminding of how Dr. Dre lost his own son 187 days after his birthday years earlier, as covered. Wow. Wow, wow. Simon Shelton, January 13th, 1966 to January 17, 2018. So let me read the headline here. Teletubbies Tinky Winky actor Simon Shelton dies at 52. Okay. The Teletubbies, Winky, Tinky Winky. All right. The actor who played the part of the purple Teletubby would die shortly after turning 52, weeks before Super Bowl 52, February 4th, 2018, hosted by the purple Minnesota Vikings, where Minnesota has a reverse reduction gematria of 52. His death would be reported in the news January 23rd, 2018. A date with numerology of 62, corresponding with the gematria of the actor's name who played the part, Simon Shelton, summing to 62 and 55, the same as Minneapolis, the city that was to host Super Bowl 52. As for the character name Tinky Winky, Tinky Winky, it tied in, equating to 55 in reverse reduction. A number of sacrifice, same as 62. My goodness. Even more, the actor's name, Simon Shelton, also equates to 163 in ordinal gematria, corresponding with the reverse ordinal value of Super Bowl LII, and I want to say that's Super Bowl 52, of course, Super Bowl 52. The way to say, gotcha. Thank you, Zach. Look, the way to say Super Bowl 52 in Roman numerals. Yay, LII. Gotcha. And that sums to 163 as well. LII. Wow. Keep in mind, the number 163 is the 38th prime, and Minnesota as well as U.S. Bank Stadium have reduction gematria of 38. Of course, U.S. Bank Stadium is the name of the building that hosted Super Bowl 52. So, the word Teletubby equals 112 in ordinal. Teletubby equals 131 reverse ordinal. Super Bowl 131 in ordinal. Super Bowl equates to 112 reverse ordinal. Wow. As for his date of passing, January 17th, it can be expressed as 17-1, similar to 171. This is interesting because New England has a reverse ordinal value of 171, one of two teams participating in Super Bowl 52. Adding further relevance to the New England connection is the fact the star player of the team, Tom Brady, born Thomas Edward Patrick Brady, Jr., has a full name gematria equating to 163 in reverse reduction, another number connecting to ritual. Consider it was days after the death of Simon Shelton. Tom Brady would be on his way to Minnesota after winning the rigged AFC Championship. Also worth mentioning is that Barney, the purple dinosaur from children's television, would make headlines in the same time period, but not for dying. According to the Telegraph, the actor who played Barney was 52 years old at the time. Even more fascinating, the actor's name, David Joyner, has gematria of 55 and 62, the same as Simon Shelton. Such coincidences should give even the most stubborn of coincidence theorists a pause. Absolutely, because this stuff is BS. It's freaking made up. But anyway, let me read this headline about Barney. Former Barney, the dinosaur actor, now works as a controversial tantric sex guru, of course. Bastard. Oh, man. Dorothy Malone, January 30th, 1925 to January 19th, 2018. Dorothy Malone would die at 93, just short of her 94th birthday. She died on a fitting date for passing at age 93. Recall, Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, the planet summing to 93 in ordinal, ends on January 19th, written as words, a date that when written out as a word has a reverse reduction gematria of 93. At the same time, Saturn, using the Francis Bacon method, sums to 119, much like the date when written as 1/19, making matters even more interesting. Her name, Dorothy Malone, has reverse ordinal value of 186, and the number 1109 is the 186th prime. You'll notice the similarities between the numbers 1109 and 119 and the date 1/19. Yes, 119. Oh, give me a break. Her passing was blamed on natural causes. After all, who would ever question the death of a 93-year-old? But that wicked-ass Rockefeller gets to live to be 101. Go figure. Man. Red Fisher, August 22nd, 1926 to January 19th, 2018. I've never heard this name, I don't believe. Red Fisher, the journalist who covered the Montreal Canadiens, who last won the Stanley Cup in '93, would drop dead on January 19th, the date connecting to the number 93 in numerous ways. Consider the word Stanley has reversed ordinal gematria of 93 in light of his passing. Also relevant, if you write out 93 as a word, it sums to 62 in reduction. Whereas the birth name Red Fisher, Saul Fisher, sums to 62 in reverse reduction, a number having much to do with sacrifice. All right. Derek Coleman, Fredo Santana, July 4th, 1990, January 19th, 2018. Wow. Derek Coleman, Fredo Santana. The rapper known as Fredo Santana was found dead on the floor of his Los Angeles home at 11:30 in the evening by his girlfriend, January 19th, 2018. 218, wow. A date with numerology of 38 corresponding with death and rapper. So the date was 1/19/18. January 19th, 2018, but you would add 1 plus 19 plus 18. That gives you 38. The cause of death was said to be a seizure, having ordinal gematria of 103, the 27th prime. This is fitting because he died at age 27 and had a surname, Coleman, with a reduction value of 27. January and ritual also equate to 27 in reduction. Making matters even more fascinating, he died 199 days after his birthday, the 46th prime number. As you know, sacrifice has reduction gematria of 46, and in this case, so does the rap name Fredo Santana. Even better, his rap label, Savage Squad Records, equates to 199 in ordinal. Keep in mind, they are a Chicago area label, a city having ordinal gematria of 46. And every time I hear Chicago, I think of Children of Israel out here. Man, I like your work, so I'm going to keep watching your videos as well. But yeah, Children of Israel out here. He decodes a lot of information about Chicago, and that's where he's from as well. Anyway, speaking of Chicago, he died, let's talk about Fredo Santana. He died 157 days after his cousin's birthday. Another rapper from the city who goes by the name Chief Keef. Let me see and read that one more time. Speaking of Chicago, he died 157 days after his cousin's birthday. Another rapper from the city who goes by the name Chief Keef, who was born August 15, 1995. The number 157 is the 37th prime, and Chicago has a reduction value of 37. You could also say he died a span of 158 days after Chief Keef's birthday, the number corresponding with Freemasonry, and being very similar to Chief Keef's birthday, which can be expressed as 15-8, like 158. Consider, Freemasonry also equates to 58 in reduction, and Fredo's date of death had numerology of 58 as well. 1/19/2018, you would add 1 plus 19 plus 20 plus 18. 1 plus 19 plus 20 plus 18 equates to 58. At the same time, he died 87 days after the rapper Drake's birthday, October 24th, who he had a musical relationship with. This matters because the name Fredo has reversed ordinal value of 87. You could also say he died a span of 88 days from Drake's last birthday, where rapper equates to 88 in reverse ordinal and poison sums to 88 in ordinal. Again, all throughout history, arsenic has been used to secretly kill people, and arsenic poisoning has a reduction value of 88. To take it a step further, on the periodic table, arsenic is abbreviated as AS, or the first letter and the 19th letter, or 119, when translated from letters to numbers. Again, he died January 19th, or 119, also corresponding with a gematria of Santana, summing to 119 in reverse ordinal. Let us not forget the death of Merlin Santana, November 9th, 2002, or 11/9. Yeah, Merlin Santana. I believe that was the actor from Steve Harvey show. Wow. Allison Shearmur. So I'm going to spell their last name. Shearmur. Allison Shearmur. October 23rd, 1963, January 19th, 2018. Star Wars and Hunger Games producer Allison Shearmur dies at 54. Wow. When Allison Shearmur passed, headlines emphasized that she was a producer for Star Wars and Hunger Games. Consider, Star Wars has an ordinal value of 119, corresponding with her date of death, 119. And Hunger Games has an ordinal value of 118, a number of death. Star Wars also has reverse ordinal value of 97, the same as death. Regarding Star Wars, she died at age 54, and of course, the nearest star to Earth is the Sun, having an ordinal gematria of 54. Even more, she died 88 days after her birthday, a number symbolizing time, which the sun keeps. The sun keeps time. Okay. At the same time, her full name, Allison Ivy Shearmer, has a reduction value of 88. As for her cause of death, it was reported as lung cancer, where lung has an ordinal and reverse ordinal value of 54. Further, I should mention that lung cancer sums to 44 in reduction, whereas cancer sums to 44 in ordinal, same as kill. Because she died January 19th or 119, let us carefully examine the numbers within the gematria of the word kill again. So, kill, you got 11 plus 9, there you go, your 119 right there. So 11 plus 9 plus 12 equals 44. These wicked bastards. All right. And also the date, January 19, 2018, it gives a date numerology of 58. And when you add 1 plus 19 plus 20 plus 18, that equates to 58. The word star equates to 58 in ordinal, and stars equates to 58 reverse ordinal. Alrighty. Olivia Lua, L-U-A, or it could be Lau, I'm not sure. Olivia Lau, September 19, 1994, January 19, 2018. Alrighty. Olivia Lau would become the 5th adult actress to die in a short period of time, following the 4th, Olivia Nova. Paralleling her death to Olivia Nova beyond the first name was the fact that Olivia Nova had the same cross tattooed on her hand that Olivia Lau used on her social media pages. This specific cross is sometimes associated with being satanic, a word having a reverse ordinal value of 122. Likely not by coincidence, Olivia Lau died 122 days after her 23rd birthday, dying on a date with numerology of 38. Also worth mentioning is that she sometimes went by the name Olivia Voltaire, having an ordinal value of 170 and corresponding with the reverse ordinal value of sacrifice, 170. And last, she was from Philadelphia, the city that would go on to win the NFC Championship and Super Bowl days later in the NFL. And with that said, I will conclude the reading here. I'm sure I don't have that many more pages left in this chapter, but hopefully in the next reading I will be finished with chapter 20. And this should be the 10th upload of chapter 20. So yeah, because it was a very long chapter. But I hope you're understanding the reading, and I hope that you are identifying the patterns that are very repetitive and very, very, very consistent. So I will be back hopefully maybe even this evening, but maybe to finish this chapter. But if not, I will do it before too long. But anyway, you guys enjoy. Be sure you get these books, Letters and Numbers by Zachry K. Hubbard. You can get that by visiting his YouTube channels, Gematria Effect Sports and News. And be sure to watch his videos. His videos are very informative too. And you can also order his book, Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus, on Amazon. It's now available there. Or you can visit his blog page, gematriaeffectnews.blogspot.com. But get this information, share the information, but understand the information. All right, bye.